Hello, everyone. This is Neil with Portal To Ascension. Here joined with Brad Johnson today to talk about the cosmic reunion and talk about the shift in consciousness and what's to be expected in the months and the years to come. So, Brad, are you with us?
I'm with you. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, Brad, thank you for being here. Before we get started, do you want to talk to our audience, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a channel of Adronis?
Yes, well, hello everyone. My name is Brad Johnson, and I guess what you would call myself as a facilitator of higher consciousness. This all started back for me in August of 2008, where I just was working on a science fiction novel, actually a book that's just been completed now called Day Zero, The Recovered Diary of a Human Star Being. It wasn't called that fully at that time, but I wanted to do some research in regards to making this novel as real as possible to the extraterrestrial presence. And so what I did, I just started doing some research online, like through YouTube videos, through articles, through other people's websites, experts, contactees, etc. And what I discovered through the majority of consensus in regards to commonality was that extraterrestrials and spirituality really went together hand in hand. And this was very, very puzzling to me because I always had the idea of, kind of like the old-fashioned cliche of aliens being these, kind of animalistic, barbaric things, almost like parasitical in nature. So I decided to put the book aside for that time, and I wanted to discover more about the truth, about the extraterrestrial presence. But not only that, I was really, really interested in knowing more about spirituality in this way, in regards to meditation, in regards to really expanding one's own consciousness, as this is something that was really foreign to me. As I was raised up as a Jehovah's Witness since birth and left it as a teenager, as I just really did not like any part of it at all. And so as I started to discover more about spirituality, consciousness, how we're all one, the unification of humanity, the unification of the star beings that exist beyond our world, I created an online community. And through this online community, I invited a lot of different psychics, intuitives, channelers, all of these particular people from all walks of life. And I was really just kind of studying it as a researcher at first. And it wasn't until that other people wanted to talk to me and share a lot of their experiences, as well as a lot of different methods and practicums they had, I started getting deeply into channeling. I started getting deeper into energy healing. I started getting into, developing intuitive abilities and extrasensory perception. But what really interested me the most was channeling. So I went to my local library. I just took out a book called Learn How to Meditate, read it from front cover to back cover in the span of about 5 days or so. And I just started doing the techniques in there as well. And when I did these exact techniques, I was amazed of what kind of level of consciousness I was going into. It was almost kind of like, imagine like a first-person video game in that sense, just walking down these hallways, just seeing these incredible symbolic objects. And as I would interface with them in meditation, I would just literally feel this rush of energy that was really just so incredible. Not only that, but when I went into my dream states at night, I would just literally be before this non-physical classroom, literally made out of light, and this whole consciousness in regards to this non-physical classroom was just literally downloading all of this information directly into me. There really is no tangible explanation of how that happened. I would just literally go to sleep. I would wake up the next morning, and I would have new perceptions of understandings that I never had before. And so this just continued to become more and more profound throughout the months that came. I started going deeper into channeling. I started involving myself with it. It started firstly with automatic writing. And with automatic writing, I just started working with some other consciousnesses at first, just kind of here and there to help calibrate my energies, to be a little more receptive to what's coming through in regards to other consciousness. Of course, clearing your space, creating a sanctuary, putting a lot of love into yourself, trusting the energy, and letting that energy come through as it needs to. In all my experiences regarding channeling, I have yet to experience anything negative. So I know some people have talked about that. I personally haven't experienced that at all. But moving forward to December of 2008, this is when I made first contact with the being that I channel now, known as Adronis. Basically, a friend of mine who was a channel also told me about my energies, that I have very, very strong, serious energies. no pun intended, of course. But it's basically just pointing your focus, your concentration onto the star of Sirius, Sirius A, the dog star. And so I went ahead and did that. And I was surprised that I had this kind of individual personalized contact. I was, in that sense, expecting to work together with collectives, as that's what I was doing in my earlier forms of automatic writing channeling states. But this was a very strong individualistic form of presence that came through. And we just started talking, and I just asked myself, oh, hello, who is it that I am talking to? And just within a flash of an instant, I just instantly got this information that I had the urge to write down. It says, I am Adronis from Sirius. I am a higher aspect of yourself within which you would know 297 years in your future. I have come back at this time to assist you in your own personal development. If you would like to work together, what the arrangement will be is that I will allow to share my insight with you, which you can also share with others. And so it was a very strong public insight. And it's been happening like that ever since. Ever since I've been channeling Adronis, all the information that I've been bringing forward, I have shared a lot of that publicly. And I'm kind of learning at the same time that everybody else is learning in regards to the channeling state. And it is something in regards to a permission, a contract that was brought together, I guess you could say before this life, in that way, but it really is more of a happenstance, an instantaneity, so to speak, in regards to this agreement on a soul contract level to begin channeling with Adronis. And so I continued to do some automatic writing with him to help calibrate. I did try to do some vocal channeling, but still needed to calibrate myself a little bit more before I dove into it. And it wasn't until about the early spring of 2009 that I was able to really get into vocal channeling with him, calibrate my energies, really experience some intense, incredible rushes of energy, calibrating him in that way. And this is really what's birthed me vocally channeling Adronis in this way. And since that time, I've been doing a lot of online seminars. Came down to California with you guys, of course, and have done some sessions there as well, too, some seminars there, as well as a lot of work here along the West Coast, Portland, and Seattle and Vancouver. So again, it's been a really incredible ride, and I'm just loving every minute of everything I do.
Yes, it has been, brother. I wanted to ask you, I was at an Adronis session with you a few months ago, and I believe Adronis was talking about first contact and how first contact is going to be predominantly through channeling. Can you speak on that a little more and speak on first contact in general?
Yeah, each and every single one of us are going to have our own personalized contacts. Now, some people are able to acquire this understanding through the perception of channeling, is that some people will communicate with angelic consciousness, some people will communicate with higher aspects, or even future aspects of themselves. Basically, what happens, it's kind of like a reunification, is that the energies in regards to another higher aspect of that person is literally just abridging itself, and it's like two particular elements, coming closer and closer together, like two magnets that are just trying to attach to each other. And that's basically what's happening, is that we're all starting to individually, in our own way, communicate with these other particular consciousnesses that can represent extraterrestrial consciousness. And a lot of us are being divinely guided in certain ways. They can relate to, local physical contacts. Sometimes there can be ships that can rendezvous with other people and bring them on board. From a lot of the research I've gathered, that doesn't happen too often. What does happen quite often in that sense can be a conscious contact through channeling, or what you can experience known as an induced form of out-of-body experience. The induced form of out-of-body experiences can relate to what some people may know as sleep paralysis, is that they're up in the middle of the night and they just feel like their body has frozen and they can't move, they have no motor functions at all, and they literally just feel paralyzed. And they can feel like, in essence, the energy of their body just being kind of tugged out of the physical body, and something is happening to it. In regards to a download state, or literally feeling other beings around you, that's another way of doing it as well too. Sometimes you can go all the way in regards to an induced out-of-body experience or astral projection, and literally come aboard spacecraft in that way as well too. And what they'll do is they'll kind of fine-tune your vibration, energize you to the point where you can, or I guess you could say calibrate you to the point where you're actually able to go on board ships in your astral body form. And this is more preferable because you're not carrying a container around with you, or your physical body. For those who have had physical body contacts, with a lot of these other beings. They can be Sirian, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Andromedan, and what have you. But they're basically having an apparatus attained to them, or some form of implant that will come through and allow their body to function at an accelerated rate for their molecular process to speed up to the point where it's coherent with the density relating to the beings, fourth density, fifth density, etc. And so it really just depends. A lot of us are having personal contact in this way. We have been seeing a lot of sightings, again, going back to one of the popular sightings of the Phoenix Lights back in 1997. And again, there have been a lot of UFO sightings and contacts in that way as well, just in regards to people witnessing this, experiencing downloads, having some form of interactivity with the craft as well too. Maybe getting them to go left, go right, go up or down, getting them to blink or pulsate or perform figure eights. Again, that's just what you would consider to be in synchronicity with the purity of the energies being brought forward in regards to that craft. So many of us are experiencing, first contact in our own ways, sometimes individually, and sometimes within small groups. And that's basically how it's going to carry out, according to Adronis, that in the next few years, it's going to expand. And it's kind of like the analogy he's given is like a baby that just needs to be nurtured. You can't feed a baby a giant steak. They have to nurture themselves, and the point to where at some level they'll be able to handle more information, or rather handle more of a larger deal of diet. And so that's basically what's happening with us in regards to disclosure, is that we're handling a diet right now. And between the years of 2015, 2017, Bashar has also talked about this as well too, that there will be a lot more of a public notice relating to extraterrestrial contact. There's no real idea of how exactly it will manifest, but it seems that within the next few years, I'd say pretty much the entire population is going to be aware that other civilizations exist beyond our world.
Right. And so you're going to be a speaker, one of our speakers at the Cosmic Reunion 2012 on November 25th, Sunday. And I wanted to ask you, what's your take on these gatherings and the Cosmic Reunion 2012? What's its significance in this time in our evolution?
Well, it offers the perspective, I think, of many different people who have pieces of the puzzle, all to come together and see how well those puzzle pieces fit. And for a lot of people as well, too, who are attending the conference, really to get their own understanding and getting their perspectives as well, too. And I think it's really important to have a lot of interaction in regards to these seminars, because then people will really know exactly why they came, why they wanted to be a part of this, and really, through the people that are available, that are publicly speaking, to offer insight in regards to what people would like to know more about. This can relate to, ET channeling. This can relate to ET contact. This can relate to healing. This can relate to self-empowerment. So again, there's a whole different, menagerie of understandings of what these conferences represent. And so, my particular purpose is always to have that interaction, is making sure that people come to these conferences, with a really good, positive, mentality, and that they really test Adronis. That's what I like to say. So you guys go ahead and you test him, and you make sure you get the questions. I really want to know more about this thing or that thing, whatever it may be. That's really just, kind of tickling your funny bones, so to speak, of what you would like to ask. And this is what I love, is when people really just want to ask those kind of unique questions to Adronis that have not been asked before. So again, I think when you really throw interaction in regards to everybody who wants to attend these seminars, in regards to people who are really passionate, who really want to, again, bring out their piece of the puzzle relating to consciousness, spirituality, extraterrestrial disclosure, cosmic reunion. That's really where it's happening. And I think these can be one of the most beneficial things that people can experience, whether you're local, within the California area, or if you have the ability to tune in virtually. I think you're going to be in for a great surprise and a wonderful 2 days of what the Cosmic Reunion represents.
Definitely. So one more question, and then we can bring in Adronis.
Sure.
Through my experience in the shift and speaking to individuals, there's a lot of people who aren't familiar with extraterrestrial awareness, but they know about the shift in consciousness, the ascension, and they're aware that it's all about the oneness and how we're all one. Now, what do extraterrestrials and extraterrestrial disclosure really have to do with the shift in consciousness?
Well, extraterrestrials really just help you in that regards to an extension of yourself, and that's really all they represent, because if you understand oneness, you're not limiting oneness to the point of a planet. you're allowing oneness to be brought together in regards to everything that exists in this universe, and even beyond that through all of creation. And so if you're understanding the nature of what oneness represents, it's simply being open to all the possibilities that represent branches and extensions of that oneness. And that's exactly what extraterrestrials can represent. That's exactly what angelic consciousness, extra dimensionals, everything that represents the totality of consciousness represents. So oneness in this sense in regards to extraterrestrials is helping you to become a lot more familiar with how far those branches can extend in regards to such a thing as an extraterrestrial presence. So it's very important just to keep an open mind. Adronis has said on many occasions there are 17 different groups of extraterrestrial civilizations that are not naturally born on our planet, that are walking our planet right now. And so we're literally mingling with beings that are of an extraterrestrial nature, that are not indigenous to this world. And we're literally walking by them each and every single day, by the thousands, without even knowing it. So again, that kind of gives you a bit of an understanding. It just helps to understand more of the openness and the expanse that you want to put yourself into relating to oneness. Adronis has really referred to this as the now nexus. And the more that you can come into the nexus and, be aware of everything that's happening, what's known as happenstance, rather than wondering what everything has happened, that's kind of what pulls away your empowerment to this self, is when you're looking at things behind you, what's happened in the past, or a fear of what may happen in the future, you're not entering the nexus. You're not coming into the point to where you're at your highest power, where you can be aware of everything that's taking place on your planet and beyond, in your dimension and beyond, because there really is no the world. There's only your world. And it's really important for you to understand that through your world, it's giving yourself the mentality of understanding what you want to create, what you want to align to, what you want to bring into, and understanding the nature of oneness, about how all particular understandings, viewpoints, and expressions are valid. And it's mostly just allowing yourself to do a pick and choose situation to decide exactly what you're passionate in aligning to make the reality that which represents your highest point of evolution and expanded consciousness to be brought forward together.
Right, beautiful. And the cosmic reunion really is about the spiritual nature of extraterrestrials and how that they are us and we are incarnate in human form, and that we're all in this together. And it's a choice of experience, what we want to choose to experience the next few years, whether we want to continue to go along this separated path, or if we want to connect and reconnect with our star brothers and sisters so that we may usher in a new paradigm.
Correct. And again, that's just showing you the state of expanse. It's bringing yourself more into the nature of oneness to realize that we're not just moving into a planetary-based civilization. We're really meant to be a galactic-bound civilization. What really has been a profound message from Adronis is that once we reach that point of maturity and we become more galactic bound, we have a whole galaxy to take care of. And, we're really going to be sharing a lot of information. We're going to be responsible. We need to move ourselves into a galactic-based society. And, we have a lot of overseeing to do. The galaxy really needs our presence right now as we represent the complete universal model of what a human being represents. We're more powerful than you can possibly imagine. And so with that, it's kind of going back to that Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. And so that's basically what we're learning right now. We have no idea. We're not even close to understanding how powerful we are in regards to how we have this wide spectrum of emotions. We have this wide spectrum of literally just pulling up these ideas of thin air. Other civilizations out there can't even do that, and they're not even close to doing that. So this is something that we really have to offer. We really are kind of the gods in training, and we're really just helping a lot of other civilizations that have been fragmented, that have really given up so much of themselves to help Earth along, to help the human race along. The human race is so important, and it must be preserved. And within the years ahead, we're really just going to start seeing how we're starting to transform into a mature galactic-bound civilization, and how many different races are going to assist us, and how we can also assist them in return by helping them understand what we're all about in regards to a cooperation. But in order for that to happen, we need to mature, and we need to unify, coming together, and again, moving more into the epitome of what that oneness represents.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. Okay, so are you ready to bring it to Adronis?
Yeah, I'll bring Adronis in, and so it just takes me a minute or so to get into the state, bring Adronis through. He'll give an introduction, and any questions you want to present to him is absolutely okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring him in now. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis from Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to the individual known as Neil, and to all who are tuning in to this particular transmission through your internet collective consciousness. Thank you very much, and how may we assist you today?
Hi, Adronis.
Hello to you.
How are you doing, brother?
We are wonderful as always. How
Awesome.
are you?
Doing good. So we're doing this event, Cosmic Reunion 2012. I wanted to get your take on it, and I asked Brad the same question, the significance of it, but I want your perspective on the purpose for this event and the synchronicities that led up to this creation.
Every time that you perform these particular these gatherings in that sense upon your planet, you are literally establishing what is known as a power node. In regards to these power nodes, they represent the energy in regards to synergetic connection between those that represent the presentation. Those that represent the viewing in regards to the presentation are literally all coming together like a divine circle that represents its completion in its divine harmony and its infinite expansion to bring forward, shall we say, the opening of a gateway. It is through that opening of the gateway in regards to how you establish yourselves collectively, to reunite yourselves and give what you would know as a miniaturized version of what you are going to be becoming, shall we say, within the many years ahead of your time. The whole understanding in regards to these power nodes is that they influence together, sharing together, harmonizing together, aligning together, all of the understandings of what you know, the nature of what you know as oneness to be, in regards to, shall we say, the extension of your families, that not only range upon your planet, but also range, in that sense, galactic bound, universal bound, and in many different dimensions and realities, to come together, to giving the opportunity of allowing this gateway to open, to bring forward their blessing, shall we say, behind the scenes, as you assist yourselves together in front of the scenes, to present this information to everybody who is always inquiring about this in one way or another, whether consciously, subconsciously, to the point where they have the opportunity to interact with other people in this way that are, shall we say, cohesive in regards to the answers that they seek. For those who in that sense are still attempting to understand, to moving themselves into the arrangement of looking inside themselves, at the point that is necessary to help understand the coherence relating to much of the information that relates to this particular gathering that you have relayed as the Cosmic Reunion. So the whole understanding here is that you are opening this bridge, you are bringing this bridge, this connection together, you are aligning yourselves together, and you are reaching the particular summit to where more and more of these mountains shall manifest before your eyes. And through these mountains, you are all able to move up to the summits, to look closer to the sky and understand exactly that you never have been alone, that there never has been truly loneliness, as we are all together, we are all one unified, gigantic family.
Thank you. Is there anything that you could share with us in regards to the Cosmic Reunion that we could possibly integrate in order to make this more expansive experience for everyone?
Making it as available as you can to everybody upon the planet. is truly the idea. For those who cannot be within your physical location, for those who are not able to attend your gathering in that sense, sitting down on the chairs and listening in that regards to the physical aspects of all those who are presenting, allowing this arrangement in regards to virtual, shall we say, internet collective consciousness to be brought forward in the way for all to enjoy, for all to understand. The more that you can bring this out in regards to the expanse of what others can do, to tune in to this particular transmission that you are bringing forward once again through your internet collective consciousness, and once again bringing forward this gathering in its totality to the degrees that you can for your internet collective consciousness will gain much more of that expanse, shall we say, bring itself to the point where all these mountain ranges are again manifesting from the ground, to bringing yourself into the summit, to understand that as you're all tuned together within the now nexus, you are bringing yourself to the point of expansion that will bring you into further awareness, which in that sense will make it a lot more easier for many of you to connect to many of these different beings that exist within, beyond your world. That is the understanding.
Thank you, Adronis. I have no more questions.
We thank you and each and every single one of you who are tuning in to this internet collective consciousness transmission. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We send you our love, our appreciation, and our gratitude. I am Adronis from Sirius. Thank you very much, and we now return to the conduit. Goodbye for now. All right. Thank you very much, Neil, and I appreciate the interview.
Thank you, Brad. So just to let everyone know, the Cosmic Reunion 2012 will be on November 24th and 25th in Los Angeles, California. And for more information, you can go to our website, www.portaltoascension.org. That's portal, Portal, Ascension, ASCENSION.org. We're going to have Brad there on Sunday the 25th. Bashar will be channeling on the 24th, and both nights we'll have an after party with conscious music from ITOM Lab, Torcum G, 432 Harmonics, and other musicians. So it's going to be an awesome, epic event. Hope to see you all there. Brad, brother, thank you so much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. And again, if you want to check out what I do as well, you can go to my website, areyouselfempowered.com. So again, looking forward to seeing everybody at the end of November at the Cosmic Reunion.